So I want to speak about Leela. Leela is divine in nature. Leela is always based in Yog Maya. Leela has no human source. No, it doesn't. Leela is always based on divine happenings, and the concluding effect of those divine happenings turns into a Leela. Leela is always for dharma. It is always in service to the greater good. Leela is not an illusion. It's not Maya. Leela is based on Yog Maya. Yog Maya is when we start to witness consciousness playing with us, that transforms into a Leela. Leela always supports dharma. It's always going to work with dharma, and it's always going to work in alignment with the divine laws. It doesn't do illegal, spiritually illegal stuff. No, it doesn't. Anyone who is doing legitimate work in spirituality, in religion, in the divine field, please mark my words, I said legitimate work. Okay, not illegal work. Not work that is directed by the human will, the selfish mind, me, myself and I. No, not that will. That will has no work in Leela. That will has no work in dharma. The selfish will of me, myself and I is based on adharma. It is not based on dharma. So Leela never breaks the laws of nature, of the divine, and it's not based on any Maya, it's based on Yoga Maya. Please remember this. Leela will always support good. Leela will always be in support of the greater good. When a lot of people are suffering, a Leela starts to take place, directed by the divine will of the collective consciousness. Yes, the collective. Now again, I would say this is not done on a human level. It's done on a very divine, higher level. It's like the collective may not even realize how the Leela will play out. Sometimes even if there's a saint or a guru, or there's an avatar, or there is a sage or a teacher, or an ordinary person who is a sevak, a bhakt, a devotee, they might have a basic idea of the field, but they also may not realize how it's going to really play out. But because their intention is based on dharma, so they know it will be for the greater good. And that usually culminates in a Leela. Now this might sound like very complicated and heavy duty talk for people who are not aligned with dharma. It's very easy for people to say that, oh, religion is limited, oh, spirituality is little better. But then there are people in consciousness who realize that religion has its place, spirituality has its place, And consciousness, it includes everything. It is all inclusive. So Leela is not necessarily, it is coming from our Indian subcontinent. The word Leela does come from here. But if you see all over the world in different cultures, whether they call it a miracle, whether they call it divine intervention, whether, the Sufis call it a chamatkar, or, there's so many different words to try to explain ajuba, or they say different words to describe the same thing. But yes, in our parampara, we say Leela is always, a happening which is for the greater good. It happens in such a mystical and a beautiful way that God's work starts to get done through it. Everybody is not able to read the signs of a Leela or the happening. But I'll tell you this much. Those who are in tune with the higher self, those who are in tune with consciousness, those who are, living their Atma Dharma, they are obeying the soul within, they are in tune with consciousness and divine awareness. Yes, when they do anything, because by the fact that everything they do is based on consciousness, they become Amar. Amar is to become, eternally, like you imprint yourself on eternity. You become unforgettable. When we take, our bodies in Hinduism for the funeral, we say Ram Naam Satya Hai. Why do we say Ram Naam Satya Hai? Because Ram is Amar. Ram has lived that standard of divinity, of consciousness, of the greater good, of seva on a very high and a divine level. The sages who had to recognize him, the sages who knew who he was, they did. Maybe at that time, many did not. And maybe by the time the Ram Rajya was established and his fame, his name, after he destroyed Lanka, destroyed Ravan, after that his fame grew more. He became very famous the world over. So by then everybody knew. And then there is like a Leela, which kind of, a story that takes place and establishes Dharma. So Leela is always for Dharma. Leela is not trickery because it's not based on a Dharma. It is always in service to the divine. And it's not so easy to read the field or to understand the symbolism or to understand what exactly it is, or how to decipher the codes, how to read the language, how to study, even your own intuition, how to align with what is the divine sound. Like if you hear the gurus in the Radha Swami spiritual community, they talk about the divine sound, and they say when you go deep into meditation, you can hear a divine sound. Now this divine sound is it's an intuitive sound that you can only hear through the faculties of the psychic self. That doesn't make you schizophrenic. That just makes you deeply spiritual. When you are in tune with your Atma, when you are in tune with consciousness, you are automatically cut off from the world. And you, in a way, you could say, have mastered the art of becoming, you could say, completely immune to the effects of the earthly realm. And with time, as you practice your dharma, With time, as you keep practicing your consciousness, your dhyan, and you keep working on your humility, on your seva bhav, and on really downloading all the different codes, learning to study the self, going deep within, to understand the universe and the environment outside. As you keep practicing, what happens slowly and steadily is you go deep into the deepest secrets of the universe.